Hello. It is I coming to you live. Okay? Reporting live, ready for bed. Not playing. Okay? But I gotta get this. I have to roll it. I gotta make this video. Okay? So excuse me. But Shawty is ready for bed. Okay? But I came to drop some bars real quick. Because that's what I intended to do today. And I ended up taking a long nap. And my whole everything that I had planned, it went. So here I am. I showed up though. Peace. Okay. So it is I, Chaz. Okay. Thank you for coming. Thank you for showing up to my channel. Thank you for listening. Now let's go ahead and get into these bars. You have the right to choose again and again and again. Okay? You have the right to choose again and again and again, and it doesn't matter. So here is the example. Because I wrote this earlier. This is what came to me. I've given this example to myself before, but not like this. So let's do this. Okay. I don't want these shoes anymore. I can choose to get some new ones, or I can choose to just keep wearing the shoes I no longer like or want, and keep acknowledging the fact that I don't want them. Okay? That's the visual. That's the, you know what I'm saying? So take that and apply that anywhere. Yet, we're going to talk about shoes real quick. I don't want these shoes anymore. I don't want to live like this anymore. I don't want to feel this way anymore. I don't want to live here anymore. I don't want to drive this car anymore. You know, whatever. You can apply whatever, right? So it's like, okay, I don't want this anymore. So I can either choose to get some new shoes, or I can keep wearing these shoes and keep complaining about them, even though I know I've outgrown these shoes, or they're making me feel uncomfortable, or, you know, I just worn these shoes out. I just don't want them anymore, period, regardless of the reasoning of why you don't want to be something, or why you no longer want to associate yourself with something, or why you no longer want to look at life from a certain lens anymore, right? From a certain perspective anymore. You no longer want to experience that shit. Now, just like you go and buy you some new shoes when you want some new shoes, go ahead and insert your mental money, which is your thoughts, right? Go ahead, which is your focus, which is your awareness, which is your attention, right? Go ahead and take your attention and pay it to your new life that you want and that you desire, right? So something just happened, right? I was upstairs with my boys. We was watching a movie. We was watching Hercules, okay? I feel like that's a great movie. So we was upstairs watching Hercules. I was, doing my taxes or whatever, because you know what time, you know what program, right? I was upstairs doing my taxes. And I haven't really, this is not about my mother. This is about me, okay? But I love learning through my experiences. Therefore, I feel like that is why, I like sharing certain things, right? So she called me, and it was in the it was in the when she called me, it was in the realm of fear, period. Because it's like, I haven't really spoken to her. And when I do, it's like once every other week, when it used to be a few times every week, right? It used to be a few times every week I would call her once upon a time, but now it's literally like maybe once every 2 weeks, sometimes once a month, right? And it's not because there is something wrong, but it's because there is something right. It is because I have been focusing my energy deliberately, precisely, intentionally, right? I have been focusing my energy. So she called me. She's telling me this. She's bringing up a town that's. She asked me, isn't such and such right down the street from y'all? I'm just like, I don't know. Me sitting here, while she on FaceTime, I'm trying to do my taxes. So I'm not really, and she was okay. Well, they just, an article just popped up, and she's talking about this article that popped up, talking about them finding a body of a small child. Do you see what I'm talking about? A black, right? A body of a small black boy. And I know it sounds crazy when it feels like I sound crazy when I'm talking about it, but in actuality, that is the realm that I used to dwell in. I used to dwell in the realm of tragedy. I used to dwell in the realm of chaos. I used to dwell in the realm of murder and in deliberate harm to others, and because of petty shit like race and this and that. I grew up with the stories of Emmett Till, and I grew up with the stories told of racism and how others were, and how certain people were being harmed, and I grew up with the stories of X trafficking, right? And I grew up with the stories of all types of fucking chaos. Enough fucking chaos that could drive you insane. Enough crazy ass shit. I grew up in a realm of conspiracies and ritualistic sacrificing and being monitored all the time. And I grew up listening to those type of stories and paying attention to those type of energies and dwelling in that type of realm. Okay? Now I'm in the complete opposite. I grew up in the depths of hell. Okay? In here. I grew up in the trenches of hell. Do you understand? And now I'm in heaven. In here. Now I'm in heaven. And I was reading A Course in Miracles earlier, and I've came to a point where when I do read the chapters of Course in Miracles, I'm just going to read them out loud, right? Because I'm always with my children. When I'm at work, they're sleeping when I'm at work. You see, so I'm always around my children, period. So I was reading A Course in Miracles, and basically it's just speaking on how love and fear cannot coexist. Just like how when you turn on the light, the darkness is gone. It's the same with love and fear, right? And I grew up in the realm of fear and fear bonding, right? We talk about trauma bonding. What about fear bonding? Okay? you're bonding with people through fear. Okay. And back to what I was speaking about, and she said that, and I felt no type of way. I was still, do you understand? Back in a certain part of me, I would have felt some type of way, because it's like I have beautiful little boys. I have little babies. You know what I'm saying? So hearing those type of stories used to move me in a certain type of way, whether I was conscious of it or not. Right? And now I'm aware of myself. And I was aware of the stillness, because it was like, I shall not be moved. Do you understand? I should not be moved. And I used to tell myself this story of like, if I'm going to be moved by anybody, it's going to be the people that are closest to me. My own mother. Do you understand? My own mother. Willing to sacrifice my life for my own very close, tight-knit family. There was a lot of fear bonding. Okay? But that was in the name of protection. Right? That was in the name of protecting you from the world. So I'm going to show you the depths of hell. I'm going to pull you through the depths of hell and show you everything to prevent you from choosing this and choosing that, or whatever the case was. When in actuality, it just grew. It just festered. It just drove me insane, and I cracked a few times, though it was in the lonesome of myself. Okay. Though the torturing, I've always done a very good job at concealing what's really going on up in here and up in here. But I would be going fucking insane, bro. Anyway, this is not about, this is about now, right? So I say all that to say that situation did not move me. That story did not move me. And then she goes on to say that it was an AI generated picture. And that just confirmed that story not even real, bruh. Them talking about them finding some bones of a little black boy, but it's like, that's why she's insinuating that's why she called me. Because she wanted to see if we were good, if we were safe. And that also led to the thought of, if there was something crazy going on like that in my life, why wouldn't I why wouldn't I tell you? You calling to, like, it's me, it's not her. Do you understand? I'm understanding that everything is a reflection of me, period. But these are the thoughts that are going on in my head due to, the appearance of the circumstances, or, the illusion of the conversation, or whatever the case is, right? So it's like, if something that fucking crazy was going on, why wouldn't I call? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, why wouldn't I tell my family? Like, why would you think you have to call me to check up on me, or to check up on us? Because it's not just me. She's checking up on her grandchildren too, right? That's why, I guess, that's why she called, because the illusion was giving little boy body found in da-da-da-da-da, and she automatically thought about her grandchildren, right? But it's like, which I'm probably gonna call her back after this video and be like, if you just want to call and like talk, then you can do that. But like, why would you, it's not why would she, it's just really understanding, like, that's the realm that I used to dwell in. And I'm no longer there. I'm literally at peace with myself, with my life, with the past, with the present, and with the future. Which is why I've been so to myself. Because I understand that everything has changed within me. My appetite not the same. My choice is not the same. My mental consumption is not the same as it once was. And I'm not here to tell the 3D, hey, I'm not even on that type of time no more. I'm just here to just not be on that type of time no more. I don't gotta explain why I'm not on that type of time no more. And I feel like that's kind of what I would do. And therefore it would lead me back to that type of time, because it was like I was trying to tell the 3D, or I'm telling the reflection, right? Hey, I'm not on that type of time no more. And then the reflection is looking back at me like nothing, you know? The reflection is just saying back to me what I'm saying to it. When you speak it in the mirror, it's literally reflecting back to you what you're saying to it. When you're looking at your selfie, when you're looking at the camera, it's literally speaking back to you what you're saying to it. But mentally, I was trying to tell reality, or I was trying to tell the mirror, because I am reality. So I was trying to tell the mirror, hey, I'm not on that type of time no more. But on the inside of my mind, that type of time was what was on. You understand? Like, okay, anyway. Back to, you have the right to choose again and again and again. So if you don't want that shit, choose something else. I did not want to think about that story. I chose to think about, you know what, after I got that phone call, I sat and I was so secure. Okay, I was so, like, my mind was like, yo, I'm so happy that I'm safe. I'm so happy that my children are safe. I'm so happy that we are safe, that everything is good. I'm so happy that God is, God is with me all the time. I started going through the motions of the thoughts that I wanted to have, instead of ruminating and spiraling on that story. Because once upon a time, that virgin, that's what she would do. That part of me would just ruminate, like, yo, what the fuck? It would make me feel some type of way. But it doesn't make me feel any type of way anymore. And I feel like that's really just the thing. I'm looking at all these news headers and this and that, and none of this shit is making me feel some type of way, because it's just like, all of this shit, it's just shit. When she said, oh, it was an AI generated, that was a confirmation that 9 times out of 10, that was a confirmation that shit was not even real, bro. And I'm not saying that it's not real, but I'm saying it's not real in my reality. I don't agree with that. No. I'm not taking on that story. I'm not absorbing it, right? Because I'm scrolling through Twitter and a picture came up and it said, observe, do not absorb. Okay, and this is all, right? And I love how my awareness has literally shifted. So now I'm like recalling it. The synchronicity is all me, right? It's showing me. I'm literally getting direct reflection of who I am now, period. You see, like, okay, I see part of my mind is, because I'm aware of everything, right? Like, I am everything, so I understand. But guess what? I also understand that this is where I am now. Clear all that other shit. Clearing the history, my nigga. Clearing it. because that does not concern, that's none of my concern. I wish nothing but happiness, love, peace on everybody. That shit not real, because in my reality, they ain't find shit. That little boy is with a good family, living his life. Period. Because that's what God intended. Ooh. Seeing things through God's eye. Seeing things through God's eye. Fear and love cannot coexist. When you see things when you see things from God's eye, I'm understanding that everything is love. Everything is pure love. And we are the ones that have the power to create fear. We create fear through the miscreation, okay? Which I'm speaking in Course of Miracle terms. So if you read that book, what's up with you? You know what I'm saying? I'm still reading. And I'm going to take my time with that book because that's a big book. I'm not going to make myself read it like a fucking, I got to read 3 chapters a day. No. I'm taking my time. Okay? A chapter every other day. Whenever I feel like picking it up and reading, that's what I do. Period. But it's being retained. Right? And it's being, implemented. It's being reflected because it's just like, that moment really just confirmed. Fear and love, you're calling me out of fear. You're not calling me out of love. You're calling me out of fear. Which we fear, it's like a fear bond, right? Oh, I'm in fear because I love you. It's not real. It's not love, bruh. It's not love. Oh, I fear losing you because I love you. It's not love. That's fear. That's fear. That's lack. That is not of God. Fear is not of God. Fear is of man. Fear is a creation. It's a miscreation. Okay? So, it's okay to choose again. If you're not agreeing with the feelings or with the emotions or with whatever the fuck you're going through, it's okay to say, this is not what I want. This is not what I choose. So, guess what? I let it go. Yeah, it's still in front of me. Yeah, it's still happening. Yeah, okay, whatever the case is. But it's not. Because since I have the awareness that I don't want this, it also means I have the awareness that I want this. You see what I'm saying? So instead of focusing on this and keep reproducing this, I'm going to focus on this and bring it in more and more and more. Okay? And it was just funny because she was like, she was like, she brought up something. She was like, she understands that she projected a lot of negativity, and that's not what she wants anymore. You see? It was just little bits of the conversation. I'm not going to get all into it and try to recall all of it. But what I'm saying is, God is always here. And God's will is done on earth as it is in heaven. My will is done on earth as it is in heaven. You understand? I am in heaven. I am in love. I am in abundance. I am in good wealth. I am in good health. I am in God. I am God. I am source. I'm the source of everything in my reality. And you are the source of everything in your reality. And when you are ready, you will be ready. Period. When you decide, and you keep deciding. Because things, hey, the world is like a buffet, bro. You can pick and choose whatever the fuck you want. But just because you don't want that broccoli don't mean that broccoli is going to be taken off the buffet table. Just because when you walk into a freaking store, just because you're not there for chips, doesn't mean they're going to take the whole chip aisle out. The chips are there. If you don't want the chips, don't go towards the chips, nigga. Goodness gracious. Like, this is me talking to me. And this is what I'm constantly reminding myself. This is on loop. If I don't want that shit, I don't got to pick it up. I leave it there. Let the dead bury the dead. It's going to go away. It's going to fade away because my attention is not on it and I don't want it. Therefore, what I want simultaneously is already existing. Therefore, what you want is simultaneously already existing. Go ahead and go towards what you want. Who cares? Who cares? We have this tendency of not going towards what we want because we care about what other people think, or we care about what other people got going on. When in actuality, fuck them folks, bro. Get what you look. If God put that desire in you, go ahead. You ain't hurting nobody. You ain't harming nobody. You out here living you out here doing your absolute freaking best, and I see you. Keep going. Okay, yeah, you ain't talking to certain people like you used to. Oh well, they'll be fine. They'll still exist. God got them because God is love. And the best thing that you can do is pray for people. When I say pray, I don't mean, oh God, please. But if that's how you pray and that's how you and God, you know what I'm saying? That's how you and God lock in. Go ahead, period. Who cares what the fuck I'm saying? Honestly. But what I'm saying is the best thing you can do is send an affirmation for them. The best thing you can do is send a prayer to them. Best thing that you can do is say, God is love. God's will is already done. God's will is perfect. God's will is divine. God's will is love. Therefore, okay, even though this person is projecting a certain type of darkness, a certain type of absence of love, that is an illusion, because there is no true absence of love. There is no absence of God. That is a miscreation. So God, lead them through whatever they're going through and show you. Lead them through what they're going through, and make sure, God gonna always make sure that you know, period, God's will is already done as it is in heaven. On earth as it is in heaven. God's will is already done. That's what came to my mind after that. God's will is already done. It don't matter what somebody can call me and say, hey, this, and this, and this, and this. God's will is already done. Hey, they just found out that there's this. God's will is already done. God's will is already, there's nothing to worry about. There's nothing to panic about. There's nothing to be frantic about. There's nothing to be anxious about. There's nothing to be in ill will about. There's nothing. None of it's, you ain't finna stress me out. You ain't finna. My energy. I'm too precious. I'm giving it all to God. I don't gotta think about it. I don't gotta question it. Giving it all to God. I know God's will is already done on earth as it is in heaven, and that God's will is perfect for me. God's will is divine. God only wants the best for me. God wants me to experience life. God wants me to experience love. God wants me to experience abundance. You understand? God wants me to experience great health. God wants me to experience great wealth. God wants me to experience all of these desires, all of these things that I am. So who am I? Okay? Who are you? Period. Okay, my little rants. Okay, my little video. Okay, yes. I'm about to go to bed. Bye-bye.